All right, so we're back. This is vlog number 2, I guess. I think I'm gonna start on the exterior of the vehicle today, kind of go over everything that's done to the vehicle already, and maybe some plans for the future, paint, modifications, anything like that. So I'll go into a little more detail on how far the car has come as far as the outside of the vehicle and where it's gonna end up, hopefully, in the near future. So let's go do that. All right, so when I first got this car, it was just a regular 98 Honda Civic. It did have a 1999 to 2000 Civic front end on it, but it was in kind of rough shape. The front end is off of an Acura EL 1998 as far as I know. I don't think there was any real differences between the generations other than maybe the grille. To do the front end swap onto basically any 96 to 2000 Honda Civic, you just need the front fenders, the hood, the headlights, grille, front bumper, and this piece right here. This is a bracket for the front bumper, kind of supports it and allows you to put the pins at the front. It's pretty necessary because otherwise it doesn't really hold on with a whole lot of fasteners. I debated over going with another red, a darker red, or a blue, and what I ended up settling on is a blue color. So this is the blue that I ended up going with. It's Porsche dark blue metallic. It's got a lot of metallic, a lot of pearl in it, and it looks really nice in the sun. It came with a 99 rear bumper, so that's just kind of what I went with. So basically these Civics will come stock with just a regular side skirt, front bumper and rear bumper with nothing else on it. But what I have here is a rear valance, it's called, or spat, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a continuation of the side skirt. As you can see, it's a little bit like similar shape. Basically it keeps it kind of going onto the rear bumper. It's an alternative for a full rear lip. I kind of like it. It doesn't add a whole lot of profile to the bumper. Basically the whole point of this build is to be modified but not attract a lot of attention. I don't want to get pulled over and I don't want to get ticketed or have any orders to modify it back to stock. The idea is to make it look as stock as possible but also as sporty as possible, I guess you could say, or just, they call it OEM plus. So I will tint the windows, something legal. I'll probably do all the side windows and the rear window as well. And other than that, it's not going to be too crazy. It's going to be, like I said, some options that go on the rear, and obviously the EL front end already kind of makes it a little different, and then there's a couple of things that I've done for the front end as well that are going to help it be kind of unique. So this is the front bumper. I had a whole donor car, but the front bumper was damaged, so I had to go find one separately. They're a little bit more hard to find than a regular Civic just because they are not quite as common. The tape on the bottom is basically just a way for me to protect it when I'm trying to put the lip on it. This top piece right here is essentially the line that lines up with the top of the side skirt or the bottom of the door. It's just a reference line for where it carries across into the front bumper, so I can try and get the height of the lip somewhat close. There's not much else to say about the front bumper. There is a spot for the turn signals. Those are stock on the EL. The next thing that we have here is front lip. I'm actually pretty pumped on this part. This lip is actually for an 07 to 08 Honda Fit. Strangely enough, they do fit the Acura EL bumper almost perfectly. It is a little bit tight. That's one of the reasons why I have the tape on the bumper itself, so that it doesn't scratch it up. But when it gets on there, it lines up quite well, and it almost looks like it was made for the EL specifically. It's pretty aggressive in the design. It's not an OEM lip, it's an aftermarket design. There is an OEM style lip from an 07 to 08 Honda Fit Sport. It's just a little bit less aggressive. Both are good options for the EL, but I decided to go with this one mainly because I had a really hard time finding a sport lip. This one was a good price and it was there, so I decided to take it. Next modification that I'll explain is the grille. Now this is something that I'm pretty proud of, just because you can't get aftermarket grills for an EL anymore. So this is something that I had to create using the stock grill that came with it. This piece here was chrome to begin with, and then this piece on the outside was paint matched to the vehicle. So essentially I had to sand those down, prime them, and paint them. I decided to just do both pieces in the body color, and then this small edge right here I left black. This is just an aftermarket eBay SI emblem, and the mesh in the grille is actually for rain gutters. It's made to hold out leaves and whatever, but it works perfectly for a grill. I think it came out pretty nice. So yeah, that's the front grille for the EL front end Civic. So here we have the headlights. The one on the right is the OEM chrome housing. The one on the left is a black housing version that I made myself. Bit of a different look, and you can't get black housings aftermarket for these cars anyway, so it's something that you kind of have to do yourself. These are the corner lights I was talking about from the front bumper. They come OEM on every EL. I got a couple in pretty good shape, but I did have to sand and polish the lenses to make them nice and clear. And so these are the 99 to 2000 tail lights. This is what's going to be going on the back of the vehicle. I did have a full set of these in really good condition, but when I was restoring this one, I was using a polisher and it basically grabbed the taillight right out of my hand and threw it onto the ground, and it chipped a few times. So I do have another set on its way from a friend, and I'll have to be doing a restoration on those. Alright, so that's basically it for the outside of the vehicle. On the next one, I'll go over the interior of the vehicle and what the plans are for the interior in the future. So that's pretty much it for now. Until the next one.